Welcome students. In last period we have started the chapter C++ and also we have seen the speciality features of the C++, that is C++ is an object oriented programming language. Object oriented programming language. C++ is an object oriented programming language. Object oriented programming language. So this is the C++. But what is in the object? That also we have seen. Object is a binding. Object is a binding of data and function. We can say it is a capsule. Capsule of data and functions. But how to create that capsule? How to bind the data and function? For that, there is a class. So class is a way to bind data and associated functions together. So you see, C++ that we are going to study. C++ is an object oriented programming language. What is in by object? That is the binding of data and function. That is the capsule of two ingredients, that is data and function. But how to bind the data and function? That we have to specify. It is way to bind, it is way to specify. So object is nothing but binding of data and function. But how to bind the data and function? That is specified. There is a way to bind the data and function. That way is called as a class. So these are the two things in last period we have seen. Now the next concept related to object oriented programming that we are going to see. What is that? Next, first we have seen object, then we have seen class, third data abstraction and encapsulation. Data abstraction and encapsulation. So third term now we are going to see data abstraction and encapsulation. Object we have seen. It is the runtime entity. It is the binding. It is the capsule of data and function. In short, we have seen binding of data and function. But question arises, how to bind data and function? What data is to be bind? What function is to be bind? So somewhere we must specify. Where to specify? That is class. And hence class is a way, you can say, to specify or to bind. Class is a way to bind. Yes, you can say. Class is a way to specify. Yes, you can say. What? Data and function. Now you see, in C++, object is a must. Object is basic entity. Object is essential. Because unless until object is there, you can't say your C++ program is object oriented program. In 11th standard, we have seen the C++ programs. But all these programs were C++ programs, not object-oriented programs. Why so? Because the programs we have seen, we have written, we have executed, that was C++ program, because we have used the C++ keywords, C++ instructions. That's why the program was C++ program, but we never created object. What the object is? Binding of data and function. Now, why the data and functions are binded together? That also we have seen. Because the major motivating factor of object-oriented programming is that data must be secure. In previous time, function-oriented, data is not secure. So, if data is to be kept secure, data must be binded tightly together with the function. That's why data and function must be closely binded, by which data will not flow freely around the system. And hence, in object-oriented programming, data is secure. Why? It is binded data with function. Data and function are binded together. Function, that is small program. So only that function can operate, process, manipulate the data. Any other function, any other program cannot operate that data. That is the object. But how to create the object? That's specified in the class. Class is a way to bind, class is a way to specify, you can say. Specify data and function. So unless until you specify how you want the data, what function you want in that object, that's why very first there is a class and then object. But we have taken the object first. Now what is it by data abstraction and encapsulation? This is the third concept. We are studying concepts related to object-oriented programming. Concepts related to object-oriented. First concept object, second class, third data abstraction and encapsulation. What exactly mean by data abstraction? Now the term abstraction stand for to specify a thing without any background details. Data you are specifying. Class is a way to specify data and function. But how the data is specified? Without any background details. In short, in abstract. So, object-oriented programming uses the data abstraction. So, in the class you are specifying data and function. But what the data is specified by you, that should be in abstract manner. There is no necessity of writing its background details. That is data abstraction. And what is in my encapsulation? You are binding the data and function. So you are going to create one capsule. You know the capsule very well. Capsule we purchase from the medical shop. Can we see what the ingredients are inside? No. Similarly, object is also one kind of capsule. No one can see from outside what the data and functions are there inside that capsule. Encapsulation. So creating the object, that is binding the data and function, it means you are creating the capsule. That's why this third concept is data abstraction and encapsulation. Creating the object, that is nothing but creating one capsule. Creating one capsule stands for adding the data and function and encapsulate together. Data abstraction and encapsulation. Fourth, we are going to see, that is inheritance. Inheritance. What is it by inheritance? What is it by inheritance? So we can answer the question of this answer. Inheritance stands for acquiring the properties. That is inheritance. Inherited property. Now say there is A. Whoever that A, there is A. Now you can ask the question, who is there? Whether it is a man, an object, whatever that. Let there is A. And there is another B. Whoever. Now, suppose all the property of A become the property of B. Then we can say B is inherited from A. Inheritance. We know the property of parent and child. So child will acquire the properties of parent. That is called as inheritance. Now what is inheritance in object-oriented programming? The term inheritance stands for, let us suppose A is object. Let us suppose A is object. So A might be having data and function. And B is also object. Then B will be having data and function. Now you can say, sir, what the A is? Object. What the object is? Binding of data and function. Hence A is the object having data and function. For time being we will consider data is X. Data is X. Function is F1. And in the object B, data is Y and function is F2. Now, A is the object. Object is binding of data and function. A object is having data X, function F1. B object is having data Y, function F2. Now, in object-oriented programming, the term inheritance is there. It is also one feature. That object A is supposed declared as a parent and object B is declared as a child. Or object A is declared as a base and B is declared as a derived. So parent, the term parent and base are one and same. The term child and derived are one and same. So when inheritance is there, all the property of object A become the property of object B. That's why automatically all the property will be here. F1 is there, F2 is also there. Now you see how this is arrived. X is here also, F1 is here also. Here is F2, parenthesis. Here is F1, parenthesis. How it is arrived in B? Whereas B was having only Y and F2. Then in the B, you can visualize X is also there. F1 is also there. Actually, X belongs to object A. F1 belongs to object B. But how it came? It is inheritance. So inheritance stand for object of one class acquire the properties of object of another class. Or in short, in simple, one object acquires the property of object, another object. As an example, object B has acquired the property of object A. What the property? Data and function is acquired. We know that. What is the property? Meaning. Property meaning, it may be the money, any other things. Similarly, what the property of object is? Property of object is simply data and function. So one object is acquiring the property of another object. How? Inheritance. So in C++, inheritance stands for acquiring the property of another object. One object acquires the property of another object. Now here, this is inheritance. So this one is also striking picture. For examination, in examination, These terms are asked for 1 mark each. Define the following terms. Object. So you write binding of data and function, runtime entity, etc. Class, it is way to specify. Data abstraction, specifying the data in the class without any background details and encapsulate together, that is called as encapsulation. 1 mark. Inheritance, acquire the property of another object. One object acquire the property of another object. Inheritance. So next feature is, next concept is polymorphism. Polymorphism. Next concept, polymorphism. What exactly mean by polymorphism? Polymorphism. This is also concepts related to object-oriented programming. Polymorphism. Poly. What is meant by poly? Poly. More than one. Okay. More than one. Poly. Morphism. What is morphism? Forms. More than one forms. Polymorphism. More than one forms. But more than one forms of what? More than one forms of function, operator. Can I ask the question, what is meant by more than forms of operator? We know the operator, that is plus is the operator, minus is the operator, multiplication is the operator, division modulo is the operator. All these are the operators. So plus is the operator. It can operate. Example, C is equal to A plus B in C++, right? C is equal to A plus B. So this is the operator plus, who is operating on A and B, giving the answer in C. But suppose when same operator is operating on another data, so operator is same, that is plus, but 2 forms. You are seeing 2 forms, one name and multiple forms. That is polymorphism. So in short, as I have told already, the question will be asked, define the terms. Object. So you have to write down the answer for 1 mark. Object is a runtime entity or it is the binding of data and function. Class. Class is a way to bind or specify data and function. Data abstraction, writing the data without any background details. Encapsulation, binding the data and function and capsule together, that is encapsulation. Inheritance, acquiring the property. One object acquire the property of another object, that is inheritance. Polymorphism, one name and multiple forms, that is polymorphism. And last concept is there, but that concept we are going to study in next period because that concept requires much more time. That is last. Dynamic binding. Dynamic binding. Let's look at the example. 6. Dynamic binding. Dynamic binding. Now the term binding, we are studying lot of times. Dynamic binding. But the dynamic binding we will study in the next period, because to study the dynamic binding, first of all we have to study static binding. The dynamic binding term is also known as late binding. So if dynamic binding is a late binding, so if it is the late, then we have to study what is early. That is early binding. This is late binding. In other words, static binding, dynamic binding. So to study the dynamic binding, we must know what is static binding. So until we study static binding, we can't understand dynamic binding, and hence tomorrow we will see static binding first and dynamic binding, and that will be the last concepts related to object-oriented programming. I think you have got, and if you didn't got, you can ask the question And next week also one live class will be there. Most probably it will be on Teachment, and remaining class will be video lectures. The class, live class Teachment based, that will be at 12:50 sharp 12:50. And whatever the video lectures, that will be also in the same time. But the video lectures you can watch later also. But the period of live lecture is 12:50 every day. So in next week one live period will be there and remaining video will be there. I think you have got. If you didn't got, you can ask the questions on my personal mobile number also. So these are the concepts. Thank you.